starting off their career, how should they see their careers, or how should they actually see success? Like, what is your definition of that?
I have a formula called accept. The entire world is with a lot of problem. We walk into the office in the morning, there is a problem. We leave the office in the evening, there is a problem to be addressed in the next day. Understand and have clarity what the problem is. That itself will clear 50% of the problem. So when I say learn bad, what I mean to say is you know that this is bad and you ensure that you don't do it. If people who are in the early mid-career start following this accept, so then success will follow.
What are some of the things that they need to be careful about?
People who don't know how to use AI will be replaced with the people who know how to use AI.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Skillset School. As I always say, this is that one school you never knew you needed. You know, the guest that I have today is, I should say, one of the most iconic HR leaders. And, there is a lot more that I can keep on adding to his name because he has achieved so much. Almost he's crossed 3 decades. That means almost more than 30 years when it comes to his experience into consulting or, HR. And he is none other than Dr. Vekataramanan. You know, he is somebody who is also called as HR doctor. Now, this is something, which really excited me so much because I've never heard of something of that sort. And, there are so many awards on his names, I should say. There's a long list that I can keep on reading, but sir, because you're sitting next to me, I would like to have a little intro of yours from your side, what you have been doing and where does this term, HR doctor came into your mind, because when it comes to doctor, I feel like, somebody who can take care of everything in one. So, how did it all started? Where are you now? What is all going on? And of course, is this your first podcast that we are having?
First of all, good afternoon, and thank you for having me in the podcast. So, and thanks for the very nice and very catchy introduction. So there is a hook already. So first let me talk about this title, HR doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I started my consulting journey, I was associated with a retail chain who had more than 200 outlets. They are into F&B, so they are into hotels and restaurants. So I was interacting with the owner, founder, director of the organization, and I was addressing his various issues. So being a consultant, so my focus is not only on one, so I see a 360 degree, and then I pointed out to him all the areas which needs correction, and then started giving solution. So he gave me this title, HR doctor. So this title comes to me from my client. Okay, so HR doctor because I address all the areas, I diagnose, and then I give solutions, and then I make it perfect. So how it all started, as you said, I have 30 plus years of experience, and 23, 24 years is into corporate life, worked with various organizations like Bharti Airtel, Levi's, Landmark, to name a few, and consulting with the Razor Sharp HR Consulting for the last 7 years. So just to give a very quick intro about Razor Sharp, so we have 2 verticals.
Yes.
So one is executive placements, where we do hiring for our clients, both India, Middle East and Africa. So we have a lot of clients based out of in Africa. And on the second vertical, as you know, I'm doing consulting. So HR business management consulting. And again, a lot of clients from Africa, promoter-driven organizations, family-driven organizations, basically a lot of Gujarati family owners in Africa, so running business, where I help them to improve their efficiency.
All right. I mean, this actually gives me a very different perspective, of the HR side and then consulting, because I've never heard of somebody who has been taking care of everything in one go. So that's something really unique. I would actually call it your USP in that case. Coming back to this, this is a section that you have been doing. But apart that, I've also heard that you're into soft skills and training, right? So now how did this start, and where are we in that area?
Right. So soft skill and training is part of HR.
Yeah.
So it has to be. And when I used to work as a HR leader, so a lot of training I have to do as a solution to improve the effectiveness, attitude, behavior, efficiency, and all of that. And I like teaching. So I actually started teaching, to be very frank, when I was in grade 7. Grade
Oh.
7, I started teaching Hindi.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so there in South, we have something called as the Dakshina Bharata Hindi Prachara Sabha, where
Okay.
we do various examinations and we reach a level called Pandit.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached it when I was in grade 7
Seventh.
and then started teaching Hindi, because in South it is very common that people don't take Hindi as a second language, and there is no third language concept in those days. So people who wanted to learn Hindi,
Hindi.
they approached through Dakshina Bharata Hindi Prachar Sabha, and I was a Pramanit Pracharak when I was grade 7, and so teaching was there in my blood, and that was a passion. So that's how the soft skill training, so all those things came
Combined.
into HR.
All right, makes sense. So, I would like to start it with this, because we have a lot of audience, who are starting off their careers right now. And the reason I wanted you to be on Skills at School, because all of this are at the end of the day skills that you've acquired, you've gained, right? So, I wanted them to know that, these are the skills that you can actually learn from somebody who has actually, just not learned it, but is actually doing it, So, anybody who's starting off their career, right, are there in initial phases, how should they see their careers, or how should they actually see success? Like, what is your definition around it?
Right. So, for becoming successful, not only for the people who are in the initial stage of life, even in the mid stage career, I have a formula called accept. So, accept gives you success. Okay. So, the first one, A stands for assertiveness.
Okay.
Okay. So, you have to be assertive and not aggressive. So the difference between assertiveness and aggressiveness is when you do something, when you communicate something in a confident manner without affecting the opposite person and without the ego, that's assertiveness. But when you start attacking the other person and say that my way is the highway, then that is aggressive. So the first thing is assertiveness. How do we build assertiveness?
Yeah.
Okay, so the main thing is knowledge. Okay, when you have a deep knowledge on something, then automatically assertiveness comes because you know the subject. So you don't need to bring your ego and don't need to push others. So A stands for assertiveness. Then comes creativity.
Okay.
Okay. So I will give you a small example which I experienced yesterday. So I was staying in a hotel for this podcast. And so normally in the rooms, they do the bed, blanket and all that neat, good. So once we enter, we get a very good feeling there. Okay. So that's one way of working. But there was a creative person who also decorated the room, the cot with the origami. You know what is towel origami?
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
do this swan and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they decorate it. So you get a different feeling. So it's a small thing, but it's creative.
Yeah.
So you're doing your work, but at the same time you're doing it in a creative manner.
That
so
makes
which
the difference.
always has a edge.
Yeah.
Okay. The next C stands for critical thinking. Okay, so critical thinking is very simple. So I'll be explaining everything in a very simple manner, not very scientific, deep, and all that. So to keep it simple, so critical thinking is analyzing a particular thing, okay, going deep, and then asking questions. Don't accept facts as it is.
Yeah.
Okay, question it and then see it from a 360-degree angle. Then you get clarity. So your thinking has to be critical and don't accept things as it comes. Whatever fact, whatever data, do a critical thinking. So this is one of the very important skill in today's corporate world, which will help you to have a little edge over others. Then comes E, effective communication.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so we all know in communication there are three parts. One is the sender, the second is medium, third is receiver. Okay, so keep the receiver as your focus. Okay, so effective communication is a communication where the receiver receives the communication the way you want the receiver to receive. Simple. Okay, it is delivered as it is. So to do that, what is required is understand your target audience. Okay, so who are they? At what level of knowledge they are? Okay, and hence when you say something, how they will interpret it, and hence how you have to correct it, so that what you deliver reaches them as you deliver. So effective communication clears 80% of the misunderstanding issues. So in a corporate world, if you start communicating effectively, obviously your points will be heard. Right? So A, C, C, E, then we come to P, P before T
Yeah,
is, can you guess what P is? It's problem solving techniques. Okay, so today the entire world is with a lot of problem. We walk into the office in the morning, there is a problem. We leave the office in the evening, there is a problem to be addressed in the next day. So problem solving can be done in a very simple manner if we follow a particular methodology. There is a lot of methods on problem solving, so I'll be talking about a very simple method. The first step is define the problem clearly. Okay, understand and have clarity what the problem is. So that itself will clear 50% of the problem. Okay. So the second is brainstorming and identifying the root cause.
Okay.
Real root cause, there are various methods again, why analysis or fishbone diagram. There are various techniques. So use those techniques and identify what is the root cause. So once you arrive the root cause, then the third step is to generate solutions.
Yeah.
Okay, so generate various solutions because there is no one solution to a problem. There are always multiple solutions.
Yeah.
So generate solutions and then check which one will suit the best, test it, and then implement it. The next and final step is once we implement, standardize it. This is very, very important because if we don't standardize, then the problem, there is a possibility that it will reoccur. So standardize in such a way. So in technical terms, we call it as pokayoke, which is a Japanese word. Okay, so you do pokayoke such that the problem is solved forever. So tomorrow you can address another problem. Don't need to waste time on the same problem.
Yeah.
Then comes the last one, T. Time management, which is very, 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 very essential. This is the first soft skill or life skill which people started speaking about 40 years, 50 years before, but still it is relevant because it is the same 24 hours everyone has, but somebody is very, very effective and someone is not so effective. Okay, so time management is very important. Again, a very simple tool which Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, so he actually popularized it. It's called as a 4 window. Okay. So you have 4 type of activities, categorize them in 4 windows.
Okay.
Urgent and important, do it immediately, don't postpone it. Okay. Urgent, not important. So this is not an important activity, but it is urgent. See if you can delegate to somebody else. The third one is not urgent, but important. So we have to see when we can schedule it.
Yeah.
Okay, because it is important. So it is not urgent. It is important. So schedule it. The last one, not important, not urgent, delete it, delay it. Okay, so whatever you want to do, chop it off. So this 4 techniques. So you take a task list of the day and then you put them into 4 and then you start your activity. Your day will be perfect. So when we follow this time management, there's a lot of good practices come in. One example is today, people don't reply to emails even if it is a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, making the other person to wait. Okay, so the reason what they give is there's no time. Okay, so time we need to manage because as I told you, it is 24 hours for everyone. So if you manage that time, then there is a lot of good practices which we can start following. So if people who are in the early mid career start following this accept, okay, so then success will follow.
You know, like always when I saw accept, I saw it as something that we had to accept in ourselves. But now this comes to a new definition of accept, and I would see accept in a very different manner now. So, you know, that is something that I am personally going to take away with me. So coming to this, we asked you about what these people should do. I would also like to ask you the same question in a very different manner this time. What are some of the things that they need to be careful about? They should not do it in the initial phase of the career, because at the end of the day they're making their careers.
Be a sponge. Okay, so sponge, when you pour water, it tries to take as much water as it possible. Okay, so be a sponge during the early stage of the career. Try to learn as much as possible. Okay, so many people do that, many successful people do that, and I have also done. Whomever you see, try to learn something from them, either good or bad. So when I say learn bad, what I mean to say is you know that this is bad and you ensure that you don't do it. For example, if somebody who's in the early stage of the career has a very bad boss. Okay, so he sees there are certain practices of the boss, manager, and he doesn't like. So what he should do is he should keep it in the mind that whenever I become a manager, when I become a boss, I will never behave like this. So every person has some good characteristics, some bad characteristics. There is no perfect good person in the world,
Yeah.
and there is no 100% bad person in the world. Okay, inside that also there will be some good things. So be a sponge, learn from everyone and everything around you, whatever you see. So you have unlimited TB, GB, whatever you call, you have unlimited. So put everything,
Yeah.
save it. Sometime you may have to access some folder from somewhere, and then you can use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so improve your knowledge, increase your knowledge, whatever you see, learn, whomever you see, learn good things, bad things which you want to avoid. So this one character where you are a sponge and try to attract as much knowledge as possible will definitely help you in the future career.
All right. I mean, this was very generic that we talked about. I would like to move in a little depth of the conversation now, where, the people who are actually into HR, who really get inspired from you, who really want to see you listening. So, I would love to know it from, somebody who is into the same domain, who's starting off like this, in the HR. What are your tips, tricks, and hacks that you would like to give them? Because, with respect to time, every 6 months, things are changing so much that, it's getting really hard for us to cope up with it. Plus, this AI is coming into the picture and everything. So, like, we would really like to love it from you, know it from you actually. What exactly should we keep on doing? What exactly should we not miss out, put our holds on, and, take your step further?
Right. So first, to address the AI question, so let's categorize the careers as IT and non-IT.
Sure.
Okay, so let's keep IT side because there is a lot of disturbance happening in AI. Now in non-IT side, how does AI affect? So people say that because of AI you will lose your job.
Jobs, yeah.
Right? But in non-IT, no. People who don't know how to use AI will be replaced with the people who know how to use AI.
Yeah, that's
As
it.
simple as possible. That's all. So try to have as much AI knowledge, whether it is HR or any other profession other than IT. This is for the non-IT guys. Okay, so IT already there is a lot of mara-mari happening, so let them sort it out. Now coming to the HR career, people who are there in the initial stage of the career, okay, so as I told you earlier, they have to be a sponge and they have to understand the organization as a whole. How does the business works? Okay, so they should not see HR as HR. Okay, so I tell the HR people that try to see how you can be a HR in HR.
Okay.
Which means try to see how you can be high rated in human resources.
Okay.
So again, knowledge. So if you are in HR, if you are going to improve only your HR knowledge, you are only in the small cocoon. Okay, whatever you contribute will not have an impact to the organization. Okay, so understand the organization wholly and understand how it works. Okay, how does the organization make profit? Okay, how HR can contribute to the top line or bottom line, how sales is happening, what type of sales, what is the nuances, okay, how marketing is happening, how procurement happens, how finance happens. So HR guy right from the initial stage should try to get this knowledge so that he slowly becomes a HR generalist or a HR business partner. Okay, so mid-level HR guys have to be business partners. Okay, so they need to understand the work they do, how it impacts either positively or negatively to the organization, to the top line, to the bottom line. I will explain to you with an example. So there is a board meeting, there is a monthly review meeting going on. Okay, so I'm talking about an organization which is a high-paced, growth-oriented organization. This actually happened in the year 2006. They were growing at 100% year on year. Okay, so there is a monthly review meeting happening on the second of the month for the previous month. The CEO is conducting the meeting and various HODs are making presentation. The sales guy is making a presentation and he says that I could be able to achieve only 90% of my target. Okay. The obvious question from the CEO is, so why? What happened to the balance 10%? So obviously he has to give reasons. So he is ready. He prepared the PPT very well. He says the reasons for the 10% shortfall is 3% because of marketing. They were supposed to launch this. They were unable to launch. It was a delay. 2% because of the non-availability of materials.
Yeah.
The balance 5% is because of HR. Okay, so the sales guy, the head of sales, says that the 5% of the sales we were unable to achieve because of HR. Right, so the HR guy obviously asks, why? How come HR is coming into picture? I was supposed to have 100 salespeople. Okay, now I have only 95. You have not filled the 5 people on time. So obviously this 95 will work only for 95 because already our targets are stretched. Okay, so if I would have had this 5 extra or the 5 required as per the budget, I could have achieved this. So 5% was not. So the point is, the talent acquisition guy, the HR guy, in the middle management, in the senior management, so whatever they do, there is an impact on the top line and bottom line. The people who understand it become a successful HR. People who don't understand it will always start fighting with their colleagues. So for the middle level guys, so my point is understand. For the senior level HR guys, okay, we are talking about HR directors, CHROs, head of HR. So what they should concentrate is, they should follow a formula called 70-20-10. So this applies to all the CXOs. Okay. So 70% of the time, they should spend only on strategic initiatives, which will help the organization to grow to the next level, or there is some burning problem, there is a customer issue, product issue, how they can solve it. Okay. So 70% of the time, they should concentrate on this.
Okay.
The next 20%, so there is a day-to-day activity which every department should do. So there is a hiring happening, there is a firing happening, there is a payroll happening. Okay, so employee engagement, queries. So give 20% of the time to this. Of course, the HR directors will not be doing it. The lower level, middle level managers will be doing. But HR head has to spend his time on this to guide them, to take care of the escalation and all that. The balance 10% is always for firefighting. Okay, so firefighting is there everywhere, either it is India or Middle East or Africa or abroad, any countries, you will always have something which is coming up, which you don't see, okay, which is beyond your control. Okay, so keep 10% for that, so that you can peacefully address it. Okay, so 70-20-10, when a HR head spends 70% of the time in strategic initiatives and thinks how he can help the organization to grow. Okay, then the HR guy is the most successful HR guy. He should not concentrate much on engagement. Actually, today the definition of HR engagement, employee engagement itself has changed. Okay, so engagement is how you keep the people engaged to the organization and work, so that they give their 100%. But what is happening today, because of a lot of IT culture and Western influence, engagement is conducting games, which is required. Okay, I'm not saying no, but the definition of engagement itself has changed completely. So when I speak with a lot of HR guys, they say that we do a lot of HR engagement activities, employee engagement activities. I'll tell them, okay, interesting. So tell me, what are all the activities? New Year celebration. Okay, so Diwali celebration, Republic Day, Ethnic Day. I said, okay, so apart from this, do you do any real engagement activities? No, these are all the engagement. We have an engagement calendar. Okay, so there is an engagement committee. Yes, it is required, but today, too much of importance is being given to these type of activities than the real engagement activities. Okay, so the senior HR head should concentrate on the real employee engagement, the real thing which will contribute to the growth of the organization, the real thing which will help the employees to improve on their efficiencies, effectiveness. Example, Gallup type of surveys, or any survey for that matter. There's a lot of organization which is doing surveys. So those type of surveys will tell you exactly where the problem is within the organization and address it. Okay, so if you are a HR guy sitting in a factory, in a manufacturing environment, look at areas where you can introduce quality circles, TPM, TQM. There are many HR people who are the champions of TPM. I myself had been a TPM champion, and I have implemented TPM in one of the organization. So those things will really keep the employees engaged to their work. That is real engagement. And this gives profit to the organization by way of cost saving and also improvement in efficiencies. So for a corporate world, instead of quality circle, there is something called a small group activity. We can introduce Kaizen, which is a suggestion scheme, taking example or taking suggestions from the employees, analyzing it and then implementing it, and also rewarding the employees for the same. So there are many initiatives which at the very senior level HR guys can think of introducing, which will contribute to the growth of the organization. So just to sum up, again at the junior level, try to learn 360 degrees. At mid level, understand how your activities inefficiencies affects other department. At the very senior level, follow 70-20-10 and ensure that whatever you do helps the organization to grow.
So, so one more thing that I would like to add over here is when you say junior level professionals, then we talk about mid level professionals. When we talk about, CXOs level, head HR, all of these positions. What is happening right now is, I'll tell you, junior levels have more junior levels. Now there is HR executive, HR associate, mid level professionals, like the way you said, very simply, it's HRBP. You need to move towards business partnership. But then there are so many titles, so many names getting added up one by one, that we are actually confused if we are actually on the right track, if we're doing something right, or these titles really matter in the industry, or the amount of money, revenue. Again, you also talked about profit, revenue. I would also like to understand what is the difference between these two.
Right.
So what exactly?
Okay, so there is a history to this hierarchy thing. Okay, so the hierarchy now what we have has been created because of too many people, population, so many people working in the organization, and to keep them motivated, every 2 years they need a promotion, okay, because the world is changing now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is why we have so many layers, starting from executive, senior executive, assistant manager, deputy manager,
Yeah.
senior manager, AGM, DGM, GM, senior GM. All this has been created to cater to the need of today's population. But it did not start like this.
Okay.
Okay, so traditionally designations were executive, manager, general manager. And general manager, by definition itself, by the word, is a general manager. Okay, in today's world, whom we call it a CEO, who takes care of all departments, all the HODs reported to the CEO. That was earlier general manager. In those days, there were no general manager finance, general manager HR, general manager procurement. No, because general manager is supposed to be general.
Taking care of everything.
Exactly. But at the next level, at the manager level, there were manager HR, manager procurement. So those people were the HODs. Now today, CHRO, CFO, so those people were actually managers.
Okay.
And then they had executives working under them. And assistant manager is a bench, okay, who will become a manager.
Yeah.
Right? And then deputy general manager or assistant general manager is the next level where he gets trained to become the general manager. So the designation was flat. But that was not helping, because people felt that it took 5 years, 10 years for them to move from an executive to a assistant manager to a manager. Okay, so hence this hierarchy was created long back to satisfy the need of the people. It works in today's world, it is required. In those 50-60 years back, those model was working, but today it is required. But yes, will have to have a career aspiration. Okay, so they need to, when they start the career at the initial stage as fresher, at least a rough draft they should have. How my career will grow, how I want my career to grow. In so many years, I should reach at this level. It may happen, it may not happen, it may happen faster, it may happen late, but it's okay. Have a plan. So when you have a plan, you always see the plan and you will try to do something to achieve it. Okay? So actually manifestation happens in this manner. So people say, there is one theory which say that do manifestation, write, put it on the board, the universe will take care of it. Okay, that is one version. For some people it is working out. But the real version which I feel right is do the manifestation, visualize, write in the board. That will make you to work on that, because you're seeing it on a daily basis. And the real result of achieving that manifestation comes because we are taking daily actions. So hence manifestation works. Okay, so either this way or that way, manifestation work when you have a plan. So in the initial stage of the career, chart it out, some rough draft, and you say that I will be at this level in these years and I will work and this is what is required. One more important point which I would like to drive is whenever you are working at a particular level, you got promoted, for example, you got promoted from a senior executive to an assistant manager.
Okay.
The next level is manager. The day you become the assistant manager, start thinking about manager. Start behaving like a manager. Okay? Start to identify the skills which is required for you to become the manager, because definitely there is a skill set difference between an assistant manager and a manager. Okay, identify those, and then right from day one start working in acquiring those skills so that you will become the manager quickly. So this is one of the hack which many people use to fast forward their career.
Yeah, I mean, small efforts, every day taking towards that goal. Makes sense. All right. Now, I would like to move towards this consulting department of yours, which is actually something which you have been serving since so long. Coming back to this area, because you deal with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people, out of India as well. And then, Gujaratis, of course, like the way you said, who was sitting outside. You also have clients in terms of India. But, although I got an idea of what exactly you are solving, you're taking care of 360-degree solutions for them, taking care of everything. But then still, they're like, the moment you get in touch with them or they become your clients, right? What is the actual problem happening, or what is something that you have analyzed, or something which is different, from other organizations than you? Because I see that spark. I see there's something, and which I really want to understand.
Right. So I keep things very simple. So first I will have a discussion with the management, with the owner, promoter. What is his problem? Why he has approached me?
Yeah.
Okay, his version of the problems and his version of what he expects, what is lacking in the organization, where he wants to go. So I list it down.
Okay.
Then I speak to all the HODs.
Okay.
Okay, and then I ask the same question, like how can you make your department more effective? What is missing? What the management should do to help you to perform better and take the organization to the next level. All HODs, I do one-on-one.
Okay.
Next comes the employees. I conduct focused group discussions.
Okay.
A focused group will have, depending upon the organization size, 15, 20, 25 people in a group. Okay. So I throw so many questions to them, and I also open the floor for suggestions.
Okay.
Okay. So I will ask them what can be done better. Okay. Do you think that organization is working at 100% level? If not, why? Okay, what is your suggestion? What are all the areas where you feel that you are unable to perform well? What are all the hidden things which the organization should remove? So all those things I collect. Then I do a 360-degree analysis to see where is the problem.
Okay.
Okay, so when I have from the manager, from the employee and from the owner, then I also do a little bit of analysis, publicly available Glassdoor reviews, product reviews, Google reviews about the organization, about the organization service, product and all that. This gives me a clear picture where the problem is.
Got it.
So once I have all this, then I go back to the founder and then I make a presentation saying that this is what you said, this is what all the managers together said without taking names. This is what your employee feels, okay, and this is what your customers and ex-employees feel based on all the reviews available online. Okay, now let's target what are all the problematic areas.
Okay.
So I identify 10 problematic areas and I tell them that these are all the areas if you correct, and these are all the benefits which you will get. Now you prioritize because it is your organization. Out of these 10, which 5 you want to take it for year 1, which 5 you want to reserve for year 2.
Okay.
Okay, you will decide it because I will leave that freedom to you. So then there will be a brainstorming session. They will say, okay, you suggest. I will help them, but I will not decide because I want them to own the decision.
That accountability.
So then we arrive at the areas which needs to be addressed. Then we start working projects. So when I am doing that, I take people, okay, the managers, the HODs, I help them to understand what the problem is, because as I told, if you define the problem, 50% of the problem is solved. So I help them understand where is the problem, what is the problem, and then give various ideas to them and try to bring solutions from them. Itself. If it is not happening, then I give my solution. But I want them to understand, go deep into the problem, feel the problem, so that they can give their own solutions. Because one solution which is working for one market one company may not be applicable to another company, another market. So
Yeah.
there is a little bit of customization we have to do. So for example, the way business happens in Middle East is completely different from the way the business happens in Africa. Most of the African countries, I'm not saying all, but in most of the African countries, a little bit of jugaad has to be applied. Okay. Whereas in Middle East, specifically places like UAE and all that, there's no jugaad. There is a clear rule, okay, and we have to follow the rules and regulations. There is no second way at all. Okay, so I give this freedom to the people because they are there in the market, they are running the business.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are running this company, started from scratch, brought up
Yeah.
to this level. So they know those local nuances. Okay, so that we will fine tune and then we will arrive at the solution. When we are doing it, I also do a little bit of HR intervention. So I start by creating job descriptions.
Okay.
Okay, so because that is a basic thing where the employee will have a clear idea
Picture.
in paper what are all I'm supposed to do. Okay, so that clarity bring in. Then I start introducing a performance management system.
Okay.
Okay, so I follow a very simple method and then create KRAs and KPIs. Okay, so KRAs are key result areas.
Areas.
Okay, not the JD. So JD will have 20 points.
Okay.
Now these KRAs will have 5, 6, 7 points, which is only key result areas, which is very important for him to contribute to the business. And then we find out the KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators. Which are basically numbers for those KRAs. You know, this is the area which I am going to work on, KRA, and this is the result in numerical value which I will be bringing in. So I will create a PMS, fix KRAs, KPIs for them, and then we run it in the very first year. We run it as a sample. We tell them that feel it, and it is only for HODs. Okay, HODs and managers, not for the entire population. Now you feel it and you understand how to take feedback, how to give feedback. Okay, so you undergo this, you feel it. Then from the second year onwards, we do it for the entire organization. So while doing this, the third intervention which I also do, I will do a little bit of engagement survey to check how the employees are really engaged with the organization, HR point of view, what corrections have to be done, any changes in the HR policies, benefits, etc., as per the market practice. So I also study the market practice. I tell the founders that this is what the market practice is, this is what the market average salaries are. You are here, okay, now this is the gap. Which one you want to address first? Because an organization cannot do everything. There will be a financial impact. Okay, let us do a 3-year plan, 5-year plan. That first year we will do this, second year we will do this, so that there is some action happening towards the benefit of the employees as well. Okay, so this is the holistic view I take, and then I help the founders, directors, specifically in African countries, Indian run business owners, to arrive at the solution and take the organization to the next level.
You know, now I am actually able to relate when you were saying, Meena, when you were asking the HRs, you know, what engagement activity is happening. This is the real engagement which was actually
True.
needed from your side. And I got a gist of it now. I got a hold of it. All right. So moving towards, you know, this area of yours where you said that you're helping these people to analyze or what exactly you do, you know, all of this. Just one quick question that is coming to my mind is, you know, people actually have the HRs inside the organization, right? So when your you know things come into the picture, right? Why are we externally, or why should they externally consult somebody in terms of all of these things? I mean, I get an idea of what exactly you are doing or what exactly, you know, how simply you get things done, but then people already have all of these things inside the organization and still things are not working out.
Right. Well, things are working out. Good question though. Let's think about a cricket team. Let's think about a football team. Okay. So football, since it is World Cup season very recently and all that, so Messi is a great player, one of the top player. Ronaldo, one of the top player.
Yeah.
He is there in the team.
Yeah.
Then why Argentina team should need a coach? Okay.
Correct.
Dhoni is the best captain. Why Stephen Fleming need to be there as a coach for CSK? Right? Because these people have done already things which the team is trying to do today. Okay, so consultants like me come as experts, coach, mentors, and help the HR guys to do things which we have done and we know how to do.
Yeah.
right? So it is not that those people are incapable. No, they are very much capable. They are very much competitive in the market. They are doing the right thing, but to do things which they have not done. So also, not every organization has a business consultant or a HR consultant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So only organizations which need to take from one level to another level, where the existing leaders have not done it, people like us
Come
will
into
be
picture.
of good resource for them.
All right. I mean, nothing as such that the things are not working out. What I meant was, they're not actually even able to analyze the problem. But then, when you said coach and a mentor, I realized, asking the right questions were missing, maybe, which you guys come into the picture and ask it. All right. I think I'm pretty much done with everything that I had in my mind. We do have this quick rapid fire round that we play. Before I do that, the camera and mic is all yours in case if you would like to, talk to our audience, or in case if you something you had in your mind that you wanted to talk about and, you wanted to just give them as a piece of advice.
All right.
All yours.
So in today's corporate world, there is a lot of negativity, there is a lot of politics, there is a lot of unnecessary fighting, peer fighting. Okay. So let's avoid all this, because this is not going to help the organization. It is like the crab story where the one crab pulls the other, and finally all the crabs are still laying down, they are not growing forward. Okay. So let's avoid all this. Only let's talk about positivity and think as a team. Together everyone achieves more. So that is the team. So work as a team. I will never think of any politics. If you want to do politics, yes, politics is available. The real politics is available where we can go and play politics. Okay, organization is not a place to play politics. Okay, so let's work together. We are working for the organization, and what we earn from the organization actually helps us to run the family. So let's be loyal to the organization, truthful to the organization, and take the organization to the next level. Create a lot of positivity, and it is not only HR's job. Okay, so
Yeah,
it is
definitely.
everybody's job to work with full commitment and without any negativity, contribute to the organization, share ideas, and take the organization to the next level. So whichever organization you are working for, till the last day, even after you leave, be loyal to the organization.
Definitely.
Right. So that will be my request to the corporate world.
Thank you so much. I'll tell you this, sitting next to you, you give me this energy, just be simple enough, things will definitely work out for you. Don't complicate things so much. You don't need all of these things. If you want to have politics, go to politics, like the real things, we are actually missing out by, maybe going on a wrong track or using different things and then doing it. All right. Thank you so much, sir. First of all, it was really, really, really lovely having you here, sitting next to you. So much of conversation, so much of in-depth conversation. Moving towards the rapid fire round, I actually wanted to ask you, first of all, whatever came to my mind, when I was asking you, what is the difference between this profit and revenue when you say?
Right. So profit is a net
Uh-huh.
which you take home. Okay. So revenue is there in the top line.
Organization.
Whether it will get converted into profit, whether you will take that money or not, you don't know. Okay. Yes, revenue is important, but more than revenue, profit is important. You ask any Gujarati, you ask any Rajasthani, because you will have a lot of CAs. Okay. So from Rajasthan, you ask this question, okay, even at midnight, 2 o'clock, they will say that profit.
Perfect. All right. Now, because you said, in case if you want to have real conversations or real engagement, that has to be there in the, organization. If you want to do politics or all this, go outside. So, when it comes to systems and people, how do you differentiate in that?
Right. Of course, people create the system, but system is very, 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 very important. I was associated with a telecom operator, and at that time, the telecom operator was operating in around 23 states, which we call it as circles.
Okay.
So 23 circles the telecom operator was operating, and same activity, same HR activity, same customer acquisition, same customer complaints, and all that. But if all the 23 circles start acting in their own way, okay, for a single telecom operator brand in India, it will be chaos. Okay. So what the telephone operator did is they brought in, and I was part of the project, they brought in something called as a Bharatiyam process.
Okay.
Okay. This is the SOP. They took 6 months in creating the SOP. And then they said, again, it was created by people. And then they said all 23 circles will work as per this SOP. so that there is uniformity. Okay, if a particular complaint comes, how to respond, what to do. There is a clear SOP. The person who's doing it, he don't need to go and ask his manager, or he don't need to bring something a new solution. It's already written. Whatever is not written in the SOP, if something comes, then the employee can contribute to the Bharatiyam SOP, saying that this is missing, please add. So it helped the organization to improve its efficiency like anything. Another example, I was also associated with a global brand present in more than 150 countries. They have a retail outlet, fashion retail. So if I say 150 countries, you can imagine how many retail outlets they will have. So there they have created SOP that you walk in as a customer, either in India or in Europe or in US or in Japan, you will be received in the same manner and you will be attended in the same manner. Your questions will be answered in the same manner. So this makes life so simple. Process is very important, but you need to have efficient people to create the process.
Makes sense. Recently, when it comes to people, also we have seen this EQ and IQ playing thing going on. So I would love to know your perspective on that.
At the very initial stage of the career, IQ helps you to grow faster. But once you become a people manager, once you start interacting with your other peer managers, definitely EQ take over. So EQ is very, very important to create rapport with people. And at the leadership level, EQ is very, very equally important with IQ.
All right. The rapid fire round, I'll put that on a hold off. I'll complete that. I would like to end the conversation on this note because you come with a lot of experience when it comes to HR consulting training. What are your definitions to it and how do you see it?
Right. So HR, as I told you, should contribute to the business. So there is no, so the HR actually started as an admin department. Then it became, when industrialization happened, it became a IR department, then personnel department, then human resources development, then organizational development. Now today people call only HR. So there is no HRD. Okay, there is a HR. So now today HR role, or for that matter, any department's role is to see how they can contribute to the growth of the organization. Top line, bottom line, top line, bottom line. Simple. So HR also has to think in the similar manner. Already started thinking. So we have a lot of very good HR practices where it contributes to the growth of the organization. There are fantastic organizations within India and abroad who already practice this. And most of the HR guys are already a business partnering guys. So this is on HR. Training is definitely required. Okay, so upskilling. I also upskill myself every day. I at least spend half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour in watching various videos in YouTube, not on entertainment reels, but on really educational videos to upgrade myself. Okay, so it's fun doing. So even I go for walking in the morning for 45 minutes, 1 hour, I'll be listening to something new, so that my knowledge improves. So training is definitely required. Career is very, very, very important. So it's a holistic package.
All right. When I was reading about your profile, we got to know that you are a Visionary Leader Award you had in UAE, right, Dubai. So, that time I saw you as international author as well. Is that the case?
Yes. I was actually a co-author. There was a Guinness record attempt which was done where around 50 authors came together to write one single book, and every author will have a chapter. Okay, so my chapter was on life skills, where I talked about around 10 life skills which will help the people to succeed in their life. So we 50 of us get together and then wrote this book, which is a Guinness record.
Can we know some of these life skills, please?
Definitely. So 5-6 of it I've already given it in my accept. Okay, so it's most of the things are covered in that, and then the usual things are always there, where you take care of your interpersonal skills. Okay, and then the other soft skill which comes along with that. So, but accept is the one which is a fine-tuned version of those 10 life skills.
Oh, all right. Now, because you talked about a book also in the middle of the podcast, right? And then you yourself are a author. I would like to bring this podcast to an end by you suggesting us some of the books to read, please.
Right. One book, since on this topic, okay, so there are various books for various topics. Since we are talking about how people can improve in their career, how to become
Yes.
successful. It's more of personality and all that. One evergreen book is of, again, Stephen Covey's,
Okay.
okay, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Mm.
It's a very voluminous book. Okay. Now today there is a lot of book summaries available in
Available.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So I suggest that if you have time, go and read the book. You will get the real essence. If not, there is a website of Stephen Covey Academy itself who have given a video on each and every habits. Okay,
Okay.
so people can watch that. They have actually value added. So there is a Stephen Covey Academy which actually value adds to these 7 habits even after so many years. Okay, so video learning is fantastic. Evergreen book is this.
Thank you so much. If sir is suggesting it, I am pretty sure it would have bring so much value to you, the audience as well, to sir as well. I mean, he himself has, taken value from that book. So I would suggest you guys to also read it. So that's how we come to an end of the podcast. Thank you so much, sir. It was, genuinely, I should say, I have learned so much from you today, and I would love to have you again on the podcast set.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Charu,
so
for
much.
asking very meaningful questions. Okay, so it is very important that, yes, I have things to share, but it all depends on what type of questions you ask.
Yeah.
So your questions were very thoughtful, and I'm very happy that I could able to share my knowledge and experience.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having me.
I hope you guys also like it. Do drop us comments, letting us know what you actually like or you want to listen more. And yeah, that's how we come to a wrap. Bye, guys.